talk about the Mumbai real estate market. According to the latest stamp duty data, the real estate stamp duty in the city of Mumbai is at an all-time high. What about the transactions? Why is the stamp duty at an all-time high now that the COVID duty impact was behind us? Is this an indication that demand and the revival of the sector is still here? Let's take the conversation forward with Boman Rustom Irani, Chairman and Managing Director with Keystone Realtors Limited. Remember, they've just gone public, so it would be a very different experience, for them now to comply with the listing norms as well. So, Mr. Irani, good morning. Before we get into the Mumbai real estate market, what the trends are, how has life changed for you now that you're listed? Much more scrutiny by analysts every quarter. 4 times in a year, you'll have to make an analyst presentation. 20 times in a year, you'll have to come on television.
Well, thank you very much, first of all, for getting me one of those 20 times on TV. Look, I think life will continue as normal. We will continue to be focused on business. Of course, there'll be analysts who will call us up and take stock of us, but I think this step will only allow people like us or companies like us to grow a little more organized as we go along this path. But thank you very, very much for asking me.
The stamp duty collection data seems to be indicating that there is no slowdown in the Mumbai real estate market. Now, why is that? Everybody thought that high interest rates and the impact of stamp duty rationalization will have an impact on the Mumbai real estate market.
Yes, you're right. This was the common belief across the board for everybody. But Mumbai has shown to be an extremely resilient market. Not only Mumbai, I'll say Maharashtra, because that's what the stamp duty numbers speak about the entire state. At the same point of time, Mumbai and MMR is clubbed together, and that's why you see a growing collection of stamp duty amounts. One is because obviously the 3% stamp duty which was there is now about 5%. So that itself adds to the value per transaction that is collected. More importantly, there have been lots of large transactions taking place where land is being purchased in Mumbai. We are aware in BKC, there have been certain sales. In Thane, there have been large tracts of land that got sold. So these very chunky collections are also coming in, and they're reflected in the stamp duty collections of the city and the state. So you're seeing this added increase. Further, I'd also like to say that prices continue to be resilient in the sense that today, after April, when the interest rates started rising, we all thought that there would be some amount of impact on the property transactions, but none of that has been noticed. As a matter of fact, we've seen a 19% higher growth of the number of walk-ins that take place and conversions that are happening, especially in the ready or finished inventory, is much higher. I mean, so if I were to give you a number, if it was 10 earlier, it's almost gone up to 13 or 14. So that shows that the increase in the buying ability and desire of a consumer, especially for completed real estate, is extremely high. And this speaks volumes about the Mumbai and MMR market. You should give credit to the government because of the kind of infrastructure development that is taking place out here. The new initiatives that are being brought in, or the new locations that are being connected, is making for the growth of the overall economy. Metro rail, as we are all aware, will get done. Large tracks of that will get done by 2024, and that will lead to further ease of transportation between places of work and residence in Mumbai, and people will be able to travel larger distances in a more systematic and organized and a timely manner. So all of this adds to the sheen that is Mumbai MMR. And Mumbai MMR continues to be number one market for real estate sales in the country by value.
I wanted to understand whether real estate prices in Bombay are also inching up with inflation, labor costs, all the raw material costs as well escalating.
You're absolutely right. We've seen a rise in the prices of homes. This is primarily because of the huge increase in the raw material prices. We did reach out to the government time and again that they should go ahead and consider a reduction of the premiums that are charged by the state and the ULB so that more redevelopment could take place in the city of Mumbai. This would, without hurting the exchequer, rather by adding to the exchequer, also make affordability a huge component And again, given the fact that stamp duty collections are great, GST would be a huge, earning for the state with the added construction. We are hopeful that the government does understand that Mumbai, especially, is extremely high on its taxes, and we need to kind of reduce the quantum of charges that are charged on redevelopments and on developments in the city. I believe there's a great future available with more and more commercial development. If it does, gain its grounds again in Mumbai MMR, we will see a lot more in terms of residential buying as well. And as we are all aware, commercial development leading to jobs, leading to homes being bought, leads to a whole slew of industries, taking precedence, including retail, entertainment, etc.
Let's also, Boman, hi, morning firstly, getting a view in terms of what the outlook is when it comes to the latest news that we had, Dharavi getting that entire facelift, if you will, after 2 decades. And, how does this really change the overall landscape for the real estate sector as a whole? Just wanted to get in your thoughts as to how this opens up opportunity for further such redevelopment projects as well.
So, first of all, I'll say this is something that the entire city will be thankful for. There will be a huge amount of organized development that will take place in Dharavi. Dharavi is probably going to be a feather in the cap of the government once it is executed. And it is really going to change the way Mumbai operates. We already have a very large BKC, which is the CBD. Dharavi has a lot of manufacturing, industries that are there. I'm sure the clean industries will continue out there, whereas the other, maybe the polluting ones, may have to move out of there, which will again lead to the cleaning up of that entire area. As a developer, I see this as an extremely positive step because it will lead to a lot more commercial development, opening up of, what is considered, well, in a way, not a very complementary site to Mumbai. And once Dharavi is developed, such a large-scale development takes place of an existing slum, which is, so many decades old. It will allow us to address all the other slum pockets, the larger slum pockets that dot Mumbai. And as we all know, once you create a proper home for those living in squalor, will lead to a better lifestyle and lead to more productivity, lead to better healthcare, lead to a better life in terms of living index for all the residents of the city. And I think the city deserves it. So personally, it's a 10 on 10 from my side for the government to kind of take on this huge venture, and in any way possible that the industry can support it. We as an industry would be very, very happy to partake in it. One of the largest industrial houses in the country has undertaken this venture. And I'm confident this time around, we will see a sea change in the way the development of that area takes place. I'm extremely positive, and I'm looking forward to the day when that entire development is on road to getting done.
Good morning, Nentar also joining in on this conversation. Yes, of course, it is such a big deal. Asia's largest slum, which is going to be rehabilitated, unprecedented totally. But Boman Irani, would love to get your views on this. As the Adani Group does it in the heart of Mumbai, one of the most expensive real estate markets in the world, what is it going to mean for pricing? Do you see an impact of that? I'm sure by now already a lot of conversations taking place, even though this is long term and it's going to take a few years.
So Mumbai is a growing market, as we've seen. Mumbai MMR is a growing market. This development, as you mentioned, will not happen in the next 1 or 2 years. It is a protracted development, I would say, by any standards, at least about 15 to 20 years. And the stock that will come out of this development will also be staged in terms of phases. This will only add to the supply, which would mean good development supply, especially in the commercial side of the development. So when the commercial development increases, Nandra, I can tell you that residential demand will also continue to increase in Mumbai. I can give you many examples, BKC being one of them. When BKC is getting developed, you see more and more residential dotted developments coming around in the periphery. And people are continuing to enjoy that life. There's a huge mall which has come up in that area because of the commercial development that took place and the residential growth in that area. One of the largest clubs is coming up over there, and We are all aware of the success that club is going to take. We also saw hospitality industry growing out there. We saw healthcare growing out there. We are seeing a whole host of eateries that are coming up in that area. So this will add, I think Dharavi's commercial development will actually add to a lot of residential boom in that area and allied businesses, thereby making the city a lot more vibrant. And look at it this way, it's not only Dharavi. Mumbai and MMR are going to undergo a sea change with regards to redevelopment, with all the new steps that the government is taking with regards to the older buildings. What could be better for the city than to see a youthful city coming out of the old part of the city again? That is, we are adding a new lease of life for the next 100, 150 years to this entire city. And there's a youthification, for want of a better word, of all the buildings and the amenities, leading to much more greener development. That is to say that, as we are aware, the older buildings had a lot of old systems in terms of incandescent lightings or in terms of plumbing systems leading to wastewater. The newer buildings will be taking care of all of this. So there will be a major change. The city will only grow and become better. And this city, I can tell you, for the next, if I had a crystal ball and I was to gaze, I look forward to the day when I see a youthful, bright, and young city growing, like in a way, rising up from the older part of town. And this will lead to a much better life index for all of our citizens. Like I said earlier, we all deserve it. We need it.
Oh, yes. Upgradation is always a great idea, isn't it? And it's going to be completely unprecedented. Let's see what the Adani Group does at Dharavi. It's long term, but Boman, it was great to have you on the show today. Look forward to more interviews as well, newly listed. And it'll be great to have you to talk about the company and, of course, real estate at large. See you next time.
Thank you.